Hey everybody, Drew here from Pellet Cars. Honored to bring you guys another Prius. We're actually closing in on 50 this year, which would be a record. As you see, we've got tons of them. There's more down there and even more off-site. This one's special because it's a 2005 with only 105,928 miles on it, and it's spent the beginning and most of its life on the North Carolina-South Carolina border, so it doesn't have nearly the salt exposure of a Rochester car. And as a matter of fact, we bring in most of our cars. Those Prius are all Southern. That car's from Japan. That Prius is Southern. We bring them in so they don't have the rust on them, you know, for you guys. Better cars. It does have some cosmetic flaws I'd like to go over with you, so make sure you watch the whole video. First and foremost, very disappointingly, these mud flaps are genuine Toyota accessories that the dealer has to install when it's new, and that Charlotte, North Carolina dealer unfortunately used metal hardware, which is not correct, and where they used that metal hardware, the fenders rusted. So we got used genuine Toyota, you know, original that was Prius fenders and had them painted to match, and the match, as to be expected, is not perfect. The metallic's a little brighter on the new fenders, and it's just not cost effective to blend onto the door and onto the hood to keep the cost of the car reasonable. So there is a slight difference there. It shows up actually pretty well on this light, so I'm sure you could see it. Certainly not horrible. You probably wouldn't notice it if I didn't point it out, but I do want you guys to know about it, and I have a picture I'll show you of the old fenders, you know, and they're available to see in person if you'd like. A little bit of a scratch right there. Nothing really to speak of up front. There's a tiny little ding from a stone here and a few tiny little stone chips there. Little scuff on the bumper here. And again, remember the fenders, both of them were replaced. Again, because of, and I didn't show you on the other side, we did use the proper plastic rivets to put these mud flaps back on, so that's not gonna happen again. While we're right here, these are new tires. They are Dunlop in the front. The ones in the back are not new. They will be when you pick it up, just trying to find the matching Dunlops, and if not, something with a very similar tread pattern. So those will be new when you pick it up. Door ding right here. I'm not gonna call it little. It's maybe half the size of my pinky. It's very shallow, but it is noticeable, so I'm not sure if you can see the reflection there. There you go. Yeah, so there's a decent door ding right there. Nothing much else to speak of on this side of the car. The back bumper has a little bend right here, a little crack, and your typical cargo scuffs that you'd find on a vehicle of this age. By no means anything major, and again, being a Southern car for most of its life, it's very clean underneath. These vehicles, especially the 04 to 09, these Prius last forever. I mean, there's several people who have gotten them to 1,000,000 miles. It's not uncommon at all to see them at 400,000 or 500,000. But they can't get there if they're rusty, which again is why we bring our cars in from other places. All of those cars down there are, except for maybe one or two, there's an Acura somewhere that is from around here. It's just clean. You know, bringing them in for you guys so they're not rusty is what we do. On this side of the car, nothing much to speak of. Again, little scuff right there, tiny little scuff there. There is a door ding right here with a little scratch in it. Certainly not bad at all. Inside the car is just about perfect. It's kind of rare. Only 2004 and 2005 Priuses had the matte black door skins and dash. It was totally different in 2006 through 2009 Prius, so that's nice. Unfortunately, the carpet has some staining here we couldn't get out. I think it's driveway tar because it's kind of hard to the touch. These floor mats come with it. They're not, of course, original. A couple little stains in the seat. I believe this was bubble gum. Couldn't get that out, unfortunately, but a clean interior that doesn't smell. Nice clean headliner. Passenger seat's just about perfect. No marks on there to speak of. Passenger carpet is perfect. The rear of the vehicle, zoom out for you here. The seat is perfect with a very small spot right there and a very small spot right there. So the carpet back here, which I'll show you, clean and clean. We will go under the hood now. It's been very well taken care of. It's got all the proper fluids, you know, pink coolant, and the oil's clean. We'll have a fresh full synthetic oil change for you when you pick it up. And in the back, which we didn't cover, Very clean back here. The only real blemish to speak of, other than this little stain and this little stain, this was, again, I think bubble gum. I'm not exactly sure what the deal is there, but I can't get that out, so that is there. Unfortunately, it comes with this cargo cover, genuine Toyota accessory, which is nice because then when you close the back, there is no seeing and therefore hopefully no stealing your cargo. You take this out and fold the seats down. You can fit an absurd amount or size objects in the back of a Prius. It's crazy. I've actually seen one with a motorcycle in it on the internet. Drag car engine in the back of one of these. It's pretty crazy. We actually have a customer that uses these to courier things all over the country, and they put stuff in the back with a forklift. Very, very, very versatile vehicles. So we'll take you guys for a ride here. It drives perfectly. The brakes in the front, I believe they're new-ish. Again, new tires. Back brakes typically don't need any attention until about 200,000 miles in these, which is awesome. So that screen, by the way, that does not flicker. That's just interference with the frequency of that screen and the camera on this phone. Multifunctional display, works beautifully. And we're gonna go out on the road here. Okay, now that we're on a road with some room, get you guys up to some highway speeds. As you see here, again, acceleration is very smooth. It's got plenty of power. Great daily driver car. So we're going about 60. I am going to take my hands off the wheel. As you see here, it drives. Of course, the road is not perfectly flat, which doesn't help, but as you can see, it drives perfectly straight. And if I hit the brakes, it doesn't pull or anything like that either. Drives beautifully. If you'd like to see this car in person, just reach out. You can do so through the website, www.pellicars.com, or just call me, Drew, directly at 585-771-0111. And of course, if you want to be notified when we post more of these vehicles for sale, just subscribe to the channel and turn notifications on. The only thing we publish is walk around and test drive videos. Thanks for your time.